The first crop circle, recorded in 1966, was discovered by an Australian sugar cane farmer who claimed to see a flying saucer spaceship rise up from a swamp before flying away. Early crop circles were primitive circular patterns of flattened crops, often created in mysterious circumstances overnight, and attributed to aliens. They began at a time when flying saucers were hugely popular in sci-fi literature and movies. Over the decades, crop circles have evolved to be increasingly complex. Today, they appear in the form geometric shapes like the DNA double helix, or fractals like the nautilus shell. Is this an alien communication? The first reported sighting of a UFO came from Texas in 1878, when a local farmer reported seeing a large, dark, circular flying object flying at wonderful speed. In the 1950s, the number of reported UFO sightings went through the roof. The most common kind were flying saucers, described to have awesome maneuvering capabilities beyond any man-made aircraft. The acronym UFO stands for Unidentified Flying Object, so in the sense that these flying objects are unidentified by the viewer, UFOs are very real. However, countless UFO sightings can be later identified as dust on the camera lens, airplanes, helicopters, weather balloons, comets, meteors, and even planets that can be seen with the naked eye. For thousands of years, countless individuals from cultures around the world have reported what we now term as out-of-body experiences. Because it feels so real, it's interpreted as a literal separation of a mind or soul from the physical body. Such an event appears to be strong evidence for a spirit world, afterlife, and even alternate dimensions in which other intelligent beings exist. Could the OBE really prove the existence of life after death? As a lucid dreamer, I'm familiar with the out-of-body state. It all takes place inside the grand theater of your mind. Just practicing a wake-initiated lucid dream, WILD, can induce an OBE, which exists on a spectrum of sleep-wake borderland experiences, near sleep paralysis. Instead of projecting your awareness into a fanciful dream world, as in a wild, you find yourself aware of the sleep paralysis which prevents you from acting out your dreams. You're in a replica of your bedroom, floating above your body. This is spurred by diminishing bodily sensations as you fall asleep physically. The pyramids of Giza in Egypt really are something special. We still don't really know how the Egyptians built the largest pyramid of all, known as the Great Pyramid of Cheops, or Khufu, some 5,000 years ago. Remember, this was even before the invention of the wheel. The Pyramid of Cheops is the size of a 40-story building and covers an area big enough to fit 10 football fields in it. More than 2 million stone blocks were used to make the pyramid, each weighing 5 tons and cut from a distant limestone quarry on the other side of the Nile. Experts reckon it took 400,000 men some 20 years to complete. Engineering feats aside, these structures are claimed by some to possess the unexplained phenomenon of pyramid power. In the 1940s, a Czech radio engineer named Karel Drabal claimed that small pyramids of the same relative dimensions as the Great Pyramid, on a 1:1000 scale, could sharpen razor blades. His explanation was that the pyramid shape focuses cosmic energy when precisely aligned on the north-south axis, which can renew the crystalline structure of steel. Despite the claims of Drabal and others, there is no scientific evidence that pyramid power exists. It is a cut-and-dry myth, presumably driven by the compelling nature of pyramids and their ancient, unexplained origins. But as the Skeptics Dictionary enthusiastically points out, that almost anything in the universe can be found to have interesting mathematical proportions or be related to several interesting mathematical formulae is of little interest to pyramidians. In 1971, In the small Spanish village of Belmez, Maria Pereira claimed a human face spontaneously appeared on her cement kitchen floor. It wasn't long before she destroyed the floor and replaced it, and a new face promptly appeared. Engineering feats aside, these structures are claimed by some to possess the unexplained phenomenon of pyramid power. In the 1940s, a Czech radio engineer named Karel Drabal claimed that small pyramids of the same relative dimensions as the Great Pyramid, on a 1 to 1,000 scale, could sharpen razor blades. His explanation was that the pyramid shape focuses cosmic energy when precisely aligned on the north-south axis, which can renew the crystalline structure of steel.